What do we have here? Oh, baby. Yeah, Mama likes it. She told you she liked it bigger. She actually liked it smaller. Joke's on you. No, it's not going on the car. Not yet, anyways. 240. Now, you know, let me give you a little bit of an explanation here. Because I know a lot of you don't seem to get it, but, you know, for those of you who don't, maybe the 4 of you watching today will explain it to your buddies. This is not a turbocharged car, right? It's not a turbocharger. It's a poopercharger. More specifically, it's a PD blower. So what are we after? Well, we're after power, right? And riches and money. But what we're not after is a whole lot of boost, a lot of PSIs, a lot of pissies. We don't want a whole lot of that stuff. I know it's just totally opposite of what you're probably used to, but I'm going to tell you on a somewhat serious note here. I see a lot of people make the same mistake, particularly on the Kong Ding Dong 2650 here, where they want to treat this thing like a turbo. They want to treat it like a turbo. They want to treat it like a 2300 and cram all the boost they possibly can. You know, put a 1.8 pulley, whatever the hell it is, and spin this thing to the moon and back, like they do in those Elmer's glue ported 2300s. But these are not the same blowers. They behave differently. They act differently. The reason why you don't see a 235 or even a 24 yet on this car is simply because I've been gradually working my way there and kind of seeing what it does at every, you know, I started with a 275 and then when I went to a 2625, kind of saw where it was at. And the problem is, this is not a turbo, right? So what happens is these things they move a lot of air. These 2650s, they definitely move a lot of air. Those rotors, they draw in lots of air. And if your system up, everything ahead of the rotors, from the snout to the big ding dong here, 112, and the intake and stuff, if all of this is set up properly, you're gonna move and shove a whole bunch of air inside there. What's gonna end up happening if you don't have the right cam, the right heads, really the right setup for the car, if you can't pump enough air through this thing, all that air gets backed up here. And you see it reflected by your map sensor as boostums, right? As pissies. And what you don't want is those 24 and 25 and 26 pounds. And I think that's what happened with a lot of guys early on, is they, you know, they wanted to treat these things like turbos. They wanted, I want 25 pounds of boost and make all this power. And that doesn't work very well. All you end up doing is shoving so much air and so much of you create such a tremendous bottleneck inside here that you're placing a tremendous amount of force on the rotors that are trying to shove more and more air in there. You create a ton of pressure on the actual jack screw, the jack shaft that runs forward to the pulley. And I'm not going to tell you that there wasn't one or other issues, or that there wasn't an issue with the shafts that were breaking early on. That's way outside my pay grade, buddy. But that definitely doesn't help the situation. And beyond that, beyond the whole shaft breaking crap, it's the whole heat thing. I hear a lot of that with 2650s. They run so hot, you know, they run like the surface of the sun, and they're so damn hot and so hot. I've never had these issues. I've even gone as far as to show some videos of a pull, and I don't have HP tuners in the car. The car is a Pro EFI car, so the data logging, it's not like I can go out there and host data logs, because most folks don't have this logging package, the software, to see it. Otherwise, I'd happily show. But my IATs have been, you know, normal. Switching to the 2650, I didn't really see any major gains at all. Switching to the Kong bricks, I did go up probably 7-8 degrees or so from what I was before. But that's really the only change that I had. The blower itself, you know, I never created a ton of heat. Then again, I wasn't spinning the piss out of it and trying to shove all this air inside of a, you know, stock head, stock cam, or baby cam kind of deal. You got a baby dick cam on there and some stock heads, buddy. You do not need a 2650. You certainly don't need a 2650, you know, with a 235 or something stupid on it. You don't have enough movement inside the motor. You're not moving enough air, and all that's happening is you're backpiling all that pressure up in here, and that just adds tremendous stress to the drivetrain, obviously to the drive shaft for the screw shaft for the blower, and you're inducing belt spin. You're putting more stress and strain on stuff. That's how stuff breaks. That's how, you know, you're obviously creating tremendous heat up here too, which means the blower's going to run hotter, and the bricks are gonna get saturated with heat. There's only so much they can cool, so much they can handle. So be smart. Be smart about it. Be smart about your setup. Make sure that the motor can handle the blower. You don't want, you're not trying to push the blower in a direction that you don't want it to go. You got to have enough motor for that blower. It's not a turbo setup. It's not one of these just slap a couple of 67s on it, a couple of 72s, or a big ass 98 and just crank it up all the way. It's a different story. I mean, even there, you're creating back pressure in the exhaust side, and that does have its own downfalls as well. But here in the case of the blower, you don't want to over pulley these things. That's the number one issue that people, honest to God, have with 2650s. I've told you my story before, I'm sure. I never wanted a 2650, or let me put it differently. I wasn't after 2650. My stock blower did a great job as long as I had it. Once it started biting the bullet and started locking up on me, I was kind of between a rock and a hard spot. The export wasn't a thing just yet, so the cost that I was going to incur sending it back to Kong and having rotor pack replaced because I had some damage on the front of the rotors from something else I had done. Replacing the rotor pack and a rebuild and all that crap, the difference between that and the 2650, which is a brand new blower with a warranty, was only like a couple grand at that. So I jumped on it with the intentions of one day I know it's going to be a little bit bigger than what it is now, the motor that is. So I want to have enough blower for it. It's really the same thing that I've done with everything on the car. Big fuel system, bigger than I need headers, all that good stuff. It's all with the intention of going bigger in the future, but it does work. I mean, if you put together a smart setup, use your head, do some research, talk to the right people, talk to people. That's the thing. Talk to people who know more than you. I talk to a lot of people. So a lot of people know a whole hell of a lot more than I do. But I talk to them. I message them, and guys like Greg and guys like Jason Siebels and guys like a couple guys over at the GP Tuning, and just a handful of other guys in the business who've been porting. Jeremy Formato has been a big help in the past. They've given me little nuggets and little tidbits, plus all the tons of reading that I've done, and I've kind of inched my way up to it, and this is what it is. It's the fastest thing? God, no, but it certainly, doesn't do half bad. I mean, there are slower ones out there. Not many, but a few. So anyway, that's it, man. That's my sermon. It's my preaching to you. Is be smart, for God's sake. Be smart. If you're gonna go blower and you're gonna go big blower, and even if you do go export or whatever other drywall spackle blower you guys get, I mean, just be smart about it. Do your research, maximize what you have, know your strengths, your weaknesses, where are your strong points, and kind of emphasize those things. And you know what? You'll put together a strong running package also. So there you go. There you have it. Wear rubber.